We're rocking over to Faye's table now, where Sala Doreen's hoping her star-studded collection will be a big hit.
I brought in some 1960s pop magazines. They were my husband's and he's had them since he was a teenager.
This is way, way before my time, but I tell you what, I bet the Duke knows a thing or two about this lot.
Well, Doreen's definitely clued up on her price.
The minimum I would accept would be 300.
Hello, Doreen.
Hello, Faye.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
And you have brought along a massive collection of pop weekly magazines?
That's right, yeah.
And have you collected these?
And they belong to my husband. Some in 1963, 64 and 65, when all these groups were going over to America and what they called it the British invasion, you know, of America. And
yeah, well, they were the trailblazers and they set the world on fire, didn't they?
They did, yeah. On a few of them, they've got his name because the newsagent used to write the name in.
Oh, God, that was in the good old days when we used to have newspaper boys.
Yeah, a weekly order.
You'd take your pocket money, you'd hand your money over, and you were so invested in that magazine that you bought. Like, if I take this one, for example, you'd be just so excited. You've got, obviously, Ringo Starr on the front. If I turn it over, we've got the Rolling Stones.
Yes.
Were you a Beatles or a Stones fan?
Beatles. The Stones, yeah.
The whole imagery on here, courtesy of MPix, and the wording, the way it's all printed, it just sort of screams that the swinging 60s, doesn't it? And then if we move further along, of course, we've got the very moody looking Cliff Richard here, and further on, oh look, we've got Billy Fury, and it says here, is Dusty really the pop queen? And of course the king himself, Elvis Presley.
Yes.
Were you an Elvis Presley fan?
I appreciated him more as I got older, not when I was younger.
So you didn't have a schoolgirl crush on him?
No.
So was it Paul or Ringo? Who was your crush?
Paul, I suppose, out of the Beatles, yeah. I think everybody fancied Paul.
I think everybody fancied Paul back in the day. I mean, obviously, this is way before my time. And you have all these pictures of all the bands, Reader's News, Dave Clark fans page. Oh, is that Scylla? Is that Scylla?
Yes, that's Scylla, yeah.
And how many of them in total is there?
82. They're all in good condition.
They do look as if whoever's originally bought them has really treasured them and looked after them. And there's 82, because there's not 82 here, is there?
Yeah.
Because we couldn't get them all on the table.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look. Where do we start this? £50, Doreen.
No.
£60, Doreen.
No. Sorry, Frank.
£70?
No.
Okay, I'm going to have another go. That makes it £80, which is £1 a piece, pretty well.
No, I'm sorry, no, that's not enough.
Do you know what? Because I really don't know much about these, but this is really David's area. He probably knew all these people. Come on, David, tell us what you know.
Well, I remember coming to a few clubs in Birmingham. There were good days in the early 60s. Just wondering if I'd known you. No, not sure.
No,
anyway,
no.
300 to 400, they say.
Wow.
There's lots of names from the early 60s here. You've got Dusty Springfield, you know. You've got Billy Fury. You know, Billy was a big, big star.
Yeah.
There are 80 magazines here.
Yes.
That's about £5 a piece.
I've put £1 a piece so far.
I think they're worth a bit more than that.
Yeah.
There are collectors out there for rock and roll memorabilia. What's nice about these, they're in such lovely condition. All right, so that's all you're going to put down, Faye?
Do you know what?
If not, I would say, I think we need to go to auction.
It's not my area of
How much is on
expertise.
there?
There's only £80.
I think they're going to do better than that in the sale room. So, unless more money goes down, darling, I suggest we rock and roll off to the auction.
Well, do you know what I'm going to do? Because I don't want to be embarrassed, I'm going to put another £100 down. So that's still only £180. So I think you know what you're going to do.
Yes, I think I'll go to auction, please.
You'd like to take them to auction?
Yeah.
I'm dead glad you brought them along today. It's been really interesting, an education, and I hope they do really well for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope to get 300 at least, because that was what they were valued at.
Well, fingers crossed. And tell us, Doreen, did David recognise you from back in the day?
No, I'm not telling him how old I was, but I wasn't old enough to go to clubs.
Enough said, Doreen. head to the sale room where Rich has just spotted something no one else has.
It's missing the most important one of all, which is the #1 issue. So it makes our job even more difficult.
We haven't got Doreen either, as she couldn't make it. But one thing we have got is David, and he's rooting for her.
Oh, sorry about that. Just getting getting back into the 60s. Doreen came on the dealer's day with a huge collection of pop weekly magazines. There was 90 editions from 1963 up to 1966. They were all there. All the stars of my youth were there. Doreen sat down with Faye. She offered £180. Now, that was a pretty good offer, really. But on the day, it was thought probably a good idea to go to a wider public. The reserve is set at £300. Is it going to make the £300? I have to tell you, now the #1s of the magazines are not there. I am not so sure. Let's see what happens.
We go to the Pop Weekly from 1960s. So where are we going to be? Starting at 180, 180, 180, 180, 180, 200, 200, 200.
Still
200,
too low.
At the 200, all doing 200, all done 200. That's all doing.
Okay,
Yes, thank you.
didn't sell. On the day, the real deal was with Faye at £180.